minutes for this year conference. My name is Khobero, last name Kihuparezi, and of course I'm not alone. Like any other conversation that is had between two people, I'm of course joined by my co-host for the next 2 days. Ladies and gentlemen, if I might please, round of applause, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, good morning to you all. I am Tshireletso Khosi Emang, and I will be directing the ceremonies for the discussions and the conversations which will be taking place tomorrow. We welcome you all. Thank you.
All right, it's going to be a fantastic partnership, and not just between myself and her, but with you as well. Now remember that before we started this, we did a little exercise to get the energy going. This is the moment that you've been waiting for. So ladies and gentlemen, in 3 seconds, if we can have that amazing round of applause, that's going to start the energy for us. Fantastic. I think we're 80% there. We will definitely get there. And now to introduce our dignitaries, allow me to welcome on stage, ladies and gentlemen, the District Commissioner for Gaborone, Ms. Sebokwana K. Dikupe. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause, please.
Thank you so much, Director of Proceedings, the President of the Republic of Botswana, Honorable Cabinet Ministers here present, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much, thank you. My name is Sebokwana Dikupe, District Commissioner for Gaborone District, and I'm here to introduce dignitaries here present. Director of Proceedings, it is my honor and privilege to introduce Mr. President, Advocate Duma Gideon Boko, the President of the Republic of Botswana. Thank you so much. In our midst, ladies and gentlemen, we also have Honorable Tiraone Nzima, Minister of Trade and Entrepreneurship. Thank you. And we also have Honorable Nono Khafela Mokoka, Minister of Child Welfare and Basic Education. Thank you, ma'am. And we have Honorable Lesego Chombo, Minister of Youth and Gender Affairs. Honorable Member of Parliament here present, we acknowledge your presence. And members of the diplomatic corps here present, we appreciate and acknowledge your presence. In our midst, ladies and gentlemen, we also have Emma Pilwait, the Permanent Secretary to the President. And we also have Dr. Butsuri Tseko, the Chief of Staff. Ladies and gentlemen, we also have Mr. Farouk Gumel, our guest of honor, the Chairperson of Botswana Sovereign Wealth Fund and Chief Executive of TGI Investment. And we have Ms. Romulemo Madiketla, Chairperson of Botswana Investment Trade Center. And we also have Mr. Kilisitse Olibile, Chief Executive Officer, Botswana Investment and Trade Center. And we also have Mr. Joel Ramapoi, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Trade and Entrepreneurship. And other permanent secretaries here present, we acknowledge your presence. Captains of industry and other accounting officers here present, we also appreciate you. And in our midst, ladies and gentlemen, we also have presidential advisors, and we appreciate their presence. Senior government officials, panelists, moderators, members of the Fourth Estate, members of the art industry, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we acknowledge and appreciate your presence. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Director of Ceremony.
Ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause, please, for the District Commissioner for Gaborone. And now to set the tone for the conferencing, highlighting our key priorities and why we are here this morning, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce and call on stage or invite on stage the Minister for Trade and Entrepreneurship, Honorable Nzima, Minister of Trade and Entrepreneurship. Round of applause, please.
Programs Director, Mr. President of the Republic of Botswana, Advocate Duma Gideon Boko, Honorable Ministers here present, Guest of Honor, Chairperson of the Botswana Sovereign Wealth Fund and CEO of TGI Investments, Mr. Farouk Gumel, Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, Honorable Members of Parliament here present, Permanent Secretaries of the Ministry of Trade and Entrepreneurship, Mr. Joel Ramaphoyi, senior government officials in attendance, Board Chairperson of Botswana Investment and Trade Center, Ms. Homolemo Madikhetla, Chief Executive Officer of Botswana Investment and Trade Center, Mr. Kelezo Libile, Captain of the Industry, distinguished investors, financiers, and project promoters, valued exhibitors from Botswana and across the globe, members of the media, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. A very good morning to you all, and a heartfelt welcome to Gaborone for the Global Expo Botswana 2025. Programs Director, it is a great pleasure for me to stand before this esteemed gathering to formally welcome you all to what has become a nation's premier international conference and exposition. This event is more than a showcase of products and services. It is a living testament to our renewed national ambition and a pivotal platform for forging partnerships that will power our collective future. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, this year we convene under the theme Unlocking Botswana's Potential, Partnership for Sustainable Growth. This is not just a slogan, it is a heartfelt of our new government's mandate and the essence of our nation's vision. We are here to connect, to collaborate, and to build a future of shared and lasting prosperity. This conference comes at a defining moment in Botswana's economic journey under the visionary leadership of Mr. President, Advocate Duma Gideon Boko. We are implementing the bold Botswana Economic Transformation Program, BETP, a direct translation of the election manifesto and promise to our people. This is a promise of economic dignity, sustainability, or sustainable jobs and future where every Botswana is an active and equal participant in our prosperity. Programs Director, this expo is the marketplace where that promise meets investment reality. We are decisively shifting Botswana's economy from resource dependency to a high-income, digitally enabled, and economically diversified economy. We are focusing on key growth sectors, implementing bold policy reforms, and fostering a culture of rapid, result-driven execution. Our commitment is clear to deliver a high-income, digitally enabled, export-driven, private sector-led, and a diversified economy, an economy where every citizen, regardless of background, has a fair access to opportunities, where Botswana are employed, empowered, and fulfilled, and where learning and skills development ignite a new revolution of innovation, passion, and self-reliance. We are determined to move beyond resource dependence towards a future driven by knowledge, innovation, value addition, and inclusive growth. Distinguished guests, To our potential partners and investors, our message is unequivocal. Botswana is open for transformative business. We offer a secure and fertile environment for long-term investment anchored by a strong governance framework, a predictable legal system, and microeconomic stability. Strategically positioned as a gateway to Southern Africa, Botswana provides preferential access to markets of more than 1.3 billion people through SACU, SADC, and the African Continental Free Trade Area. Programs Director, ladies and gentlemen, over the next few days, this expo will serve as your practical investment facilitation tool. At its core is the Pula Investment Conference, showcasing Botswana's most bankable and investment-ready projects. The expo will highlight several sectors critical to our industrialization and diversification agenda: energy, agriculture and agro-processing, tourism and manufacturing. These projects are meticulously aligned with our national priority and resonate with global imperatives such as green transition, food security, digital innovation, and regional value chain development. They are designed to drive growth and create sustainable jobs. To ensure that discussion translates into concrete action, we have established dedicated private deal rooms, space designed for serious, result-oriented conversations that culminate in actionable commitments. Distinguished guests, beyond the conference, I encourage you to explore the full breadth of the Global Expo Botswana, the exhibition pavilion where innovative companies from Botswana and abroad showcase world-class solutions, the Pusha BW Marketplace, a dynamic platform for Botswana's finest local brands, and a proud display of the creativity and enterprise of our young people. A dedicated day for our creative economy, a sector with immense potential for job creation, youth empowerment, nurturing Africa's next generation of entrepreneurs. Ladies and gentlemen, the opportunities before you are vast and tangible, from renewable energy infrastructure to agribusiness ventures, ensuring food sovereignty, and from advanced manufacturing to digital solutions, such as the National Digital Document Wallet, an AI-powered platform for scale development. Botswana offers projects that inspired both confidence and partnership. In closing, let me reaffirm our government's clarion call, ably led by the President. We are ushering in a new era of collaboration between the public and private sector. In this spirit, to our stakeholders and sponsors, we extend our heartfelt gratitude for your invaluable partnership. We look forward with great zeal to the fireside chat between the President and our distinguished guests, a meeting of minds and vision that provides to inspire new ways of making Botswana and indeed Africa the greater and more prosperous for the benefit of all her people. Programs Director and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is now with immense pleasure and great optimism that I extend once more my heartfelt welcome to the Global Expo Botswana 2025. May this gathering inspire confidence, ignite passion, and leave each of us determined to do more for Botswana, for Africa, and for the world. Together, let us turn opportunity into achievement and vision into reality. I wish you a fruitful and successful participation. Pula.
Another round of applause for the Minister, ladies and gentlemen. Might I also just take this opportunity to welcome the dignitaries who've just joined us. Mr. Arif Kanafani from the Zotis City Development Group. We have, if you know what I mean, Didier Drogba, Monsieur Didier Drogba, who's just joined us from also representing the Zotis City Development Group. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for them, please. And of course, for the legends in the room, allow me to also introduce another gentleman who's just joined us, Minir or Mr. Heskey, who's just also joined us. Round of applause for them, please. Now, if you are not a football fan or if you do not follow football, you have absolutely no idea who these gentlemen that I've just introduced are. But good thing we have YouTube, we have history, so I think you can go back and really appreciate the moments. A round of applause for those celebrations, please. Now, the Botswana World Sovereign Fund is the body entrusted with managing and growing Botswana's national wealth for future generations. Mr. Farouk Gumel is the chairman of the Botswana Sovereign Wealth Fund, and I'm going to now invite him and ask you to give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, as he comes on stage.
Good morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I will not be as energetic as the Commissioner of Cameroon because I'm still jet-lagged, so forgive me if I am speaking at a lower tone. Your Excellency, Mr. President, honorable ministers here present, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is both an honor and a privilege to join you today at this pivotal gathering, one that continues to underscore Botswana's ambition to position itself as a premier investment destination and an emerging financial hub in Africa. I wish to begin by commending Mr. President for facilitating such an event, and also the Botswana Investment and Trade Center and the entire government of Botswana for the timely and forward-looking theme of this year's conference, which is Unlocking Botswana's Potential, Partnerships for Sustainable Growth. This theme reflects the direction in which Botswana is headed, from a natural resource-based economy to one driven by innovation, sustainability, and strategic partnerships. As someone who oversees a company with operations in over 13 countries, I can tell you firsthand that investors are attracted not only to market opportunities, but also to stability, transparency, and security. On the African continent, Botswana stands out prominently in this regard, so congratulations to Botswana. Botswana has consistently ranked among Africa's most stable democracies, with a solid macroeconomic foundation, prudent fiscal management, and a strong rule of law. Your country is an outlier and a shining beacon, and once again, congratulations. This is why I'm exceptionally honored that Mr. President appointed me as the chairman of the newly established Botswana Sovereign Wealth Fund. I would also thank all Botswana for the very positive messages of support I've received so far. Just in case you are wondering, I am Nigerian. And I've received many positive feedback from Botswana on the social media, but there are also a few that stood out. Some of them were, does Mr. President know he's Nigerian? But my favorite is, close your windows. But I want to correct it. We don't come through windows as Nigerians. We break down doors. Permit me at this point to go back to the theme of this event, which in summary is unlocking Botswana through sustainable partnerships. And I will urge you to remember these three words: unlocking, partnerships, and sustainable, because I intend to expand on them in the coming minutes. I will start with unlocking, From my own point of view, this means moving from potential to projects, from projects to profits, and from profits ultimately to prosperity. This means turning dreams to reality, and this means moving from talking to doing. The world in the last 4 decades has changed in a disruptive, unpredictable, and aggressive manner. We moved from writing letters to faxes, to emails, to WhatsApp, and recently, I don't even know how the kids are communicating, but there's something happening, and I know they are engaging themselves technologically. We've also moved from physical banking to virtual banking. We've moved from the evening news once a day to 24-hour news cycle to by the second news information on our phones. And now we are moving from human intelligence to artificial intelligence. We are transitioning from us humans instructing our computers to the computers instructing us as humans. Now, I'm a very simple man. I'm into agriculture, but I like to observe trends. And I'm sure the scholars in this room will agree that nothing like this has happened in recent history or indeed in the history of mankind. And as this is happening, most of Africa is watching. Asia, Europe, North America have successfully moved from dreaming to living. If you can imagine, just 8 decades ago, South Korea had the same GDP as Liberia. Now this comes back to my second point, which is partnerships. In life, no man or nation is an island. If we look at the most innovative and transformative nations in the world, they are also going out looking for the best minds and ideas, not investment only, but brain power. If we study the USA, Europe, the United Arab Emirates, China, Turkey, and all of these other nations, we will see their investment promotion programs are not focused on investments alone, but they are looking for talent, ideas, and projects that will create jobs in the future. These can either be individuals or corporates. China launched a visa for foreign professionals in science and technology. The US has the O1 visa for individuals with extraordinary ability in sciences, education, business, athletics, or arts. The EU has the blue card, the UK has the global talent visa, and the UAE has the golden visa. These are aimed at bringing talents and skills into their countries. And these talents will partner with locals to develop the people and ultimately the economies of these nations. So what they do is they bring the brains, and those brains attract the investments. Has anyone in this room visited the Silicon Valley? It is more diverse than the United Nations because they brought talent to that location. And so partnerships are key to unlocking potentials. But for potentials to be profitable and thus bring prosperity to any nation, they must be sustainable. And that brings me to my third point, which is sustainability. From my own point of view, sustainability means surviving the test of time. It means to remain impactful for generations. For both companies and nations, this means being inclusive and continuously reinventing yourself. And I will also once again ask a very simple question. Today, does Botswana need a company whose turnover is $100 billion but only employs 10 people and a bunch of robots? Or does Botswana need a company whose turnover is $100 million but employs 10,000 Botswanas? The first company is a great headline, but it is not inclusive and thus will not impact the citizens as it does not bring collective prosperity. This means the company's long-term prospects may not be sustainable from an inclusive standpoint. The second company is inclusive. It feeds 10,000 families. Your average Botswana will benefit from this organization either directly or indirectly. He or she will get the necessary skills to feed their families and educate their children. Through this, the next generation will be better off than the previous one. That is inclusive economic growth. And I will urge a lot of us in this room to go and study the Tata model in India. For all this to happen, capital is needed. The local banks in Botswana and the region have a huge role to play. No one will build your house for you. You can get partners to support, but ultimately the task is yours. His Excellency, the President, has tasked us as the new Sovereign Wealth Fund to focus on projects that will turn resource wealth into lasting prosperity for future generations. In our first board meeting, he made it very clear to us. It was a fatwa. It wasn't a consultation. The fund is expected to play a pivotal role in strategic infrastructure, private sector growth, and guiding Botswana's transition towards a knowledge-based, export-driven economy. If I were to paraphrase His Excellency, he wants investments and partnerships in ideas and projects that will unlock Botswana's potential, thereby creating sustainable jobs for generations to come. Mr. President, that is a very bold move, and we congratulate you for putting that on the table and on the agenda. So as we participate in the Pula Investment Conference, let us recognize that Botswana's next chapter of growth will be shaped through partnerships, and all hands must be on deck: the government, the private sector, and the international investors. The opportunities are there waiting to be unlocked. Sectors like energy, water, transportation, digital infrastructure, tourism, and agribusiness have enormous potential for partnerships and job creation. For the foreign investors in this room, please do not misunderstand my remarks. You are the partners needed to unlock the potentials of this country and indeed the continent. The experience and expertise you bring are critical for transformation. But your projects must be inclusive to be sustainable. Botswana offers not only investment-ready projects, but also a predictable policy environment and a government committed to investor protection and sustainable development. I'm sure you all know this, and that is why you are here today. Distinguished guests, capital and expertise is limited globally. There are many destinations across the world competing for these limited resources. But Africa is changing. Governance is improving. Population is still young, willing, and able. And the consumption potential is second to none. So do not write us off because of our past shortcomings. Instead, you should write the future with us. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, Botswana's story is one of resilience, reform, and renewal. The next frontier for sustainable capital lies here in a nation that is stable, forward-looking, and open for business. Through the Sovereign Wealth Fund and Botswana's broader economic transformation agenda, we are ready to partner with you either as a catalyst or a co-investor or both. The fund has its work cut out for it, and we are still at infancy stage, but we hope to commence full operations early in 2026. And we very much look forward to working with you to build an inclusive and prosperous Botswana for all Botswanas. I wish you all a very successful conference, and I also pray that this event becomes a launchpad for new collaborations and impactful investments that will shape the future of Botswana and indeed the continent. I thank you very much, and I wish you all happy deliberations. Thank you and good morning.
Now, in Botswana, we do not see race, we do not see color, whether you're blue, whether you're yellow, whether you're green. What matters is that you're human, and then you're African, and then we love everybody. So, when they say, close your doors, they were just saying that in other parts of this country, you might just wake up and a zebra might be in your kitchen. So you might want to close the door. When they say, close your windows, they were warning you. They were saying, we have mosquitoes in this country. So ladies and gentlemen, please, a round of applause once again for the chairman of the Botswana Sovereign Wealth Fund, Mr. Farouk Gumel. Now, dance is synonymous and ubiquitous across the country or the world. It celebrates, it shows energy, it connects, and it sometimes is spiritual. Ladies and gentlemen, in this moment, I'd like for us or me to introduce a little piece or friends of mine who are going to entertain us in the art of dance. Might I please ask or please require or request that perhaps maybe your energy is also to some extent really elevated. But I had a special request. They don't come on stage unless you really, really clap your hands. Now this is not me, this is them. So ladies and gentlemen, for a marvelous piece with Dining with Diamonds, a round of applause please for Dining with Diamonds.
Dining with diamonds, 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 dining with
Fantastic. Just a really service announcement. If I could really ask the following gentlemen or ladies who are facilitating the following cars, B700 BJL, B896 BWX. Security has just informed us that those cars are impeding with their protocol. So if I could ask the drivers B700 BJL as well as B896 BWX to please move their vehicles. Now, distinguished delegates, the essence of today's conference is national transformation, and there's no other better placed to frame that vision than the head of state himself. He's a leader whose career has been defined by service, by conviction, and by a commitment to inclusive growth and prosperity. Today, he presents to us Botswana's National Transformation Program, affirming government's resolve to create a competitive, inclusive, and investor-friendly economy. Ladies and gentlemen, might I please invite you to stand, for it is my singular honor and privilege to invite the President of the Republic of Botswana, Advocate Duma Gideon Boko, on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the Republic of Botswana.
And thank you so much for coming, all of you. I mean, I look at mamas and daddies, I see aunties and uncles, I see beautiful people. May the good Lord make 2020 your most successful year. Some of them are like, wow. I can only say they are heavenly. They are heavenly. There's nothing better to say than that. Wow. Wow.
Please be seated. Let me begin as one should in circumstances as auspicious as these, by recognizing each and every one of you individually and personally, and thanking you for being here today. I greet you all because I appreciate all of you. I recognize the great contribution that you make to improving our lot, offering insights and guidance, and helping us become better and more successful. We recognize the Minister of Trade and Entrepreneurship, Red Tiroyao Nenzima, and thank him for the warm welcome he has extended to all of us. We appreciate other ministers who are here with us. I always deliberately avoid referring to anybody as honorable. It's a personal bias. I don't like official and sanitized lines of thought because they often lead to psychophancy and a failure to engage seriously and honestly with facts and reality. Let me greet the chairperson of the Sovereign Wealth Fund, Mr. Farouk Gumel. He spoke with such magisterial eloquence, guided, enlightened, offered nuggets of wisdom and rationality for which we thank him. And we trust that under his leadership, the Sovereign Wealth Fund will be able to catapult all of us, the country, into undreamt of levels of prosperity, so that we open the doors, not close them, and the windows. To abundance, which abundance will inure for the benefit of all the people of this country and the continent at large, so that we break the curse of the inaccessible abundance that typifies the world, where there are certain vanguards, pockets of abundance and large swathes of poverty and deprivation. We trust that you will guide, sir, in the right direction. We appreciate all senior government officials who are here. There are a number of presidential envoys and special advisors, folks with whom I spend hours on end reflecting, arguing, quarreling, almost fighting over ideas, suggestions, challenging established convention, entrenched preconceptions. I argue with these folks. And I get worried when I see society seeming to freak out at the slightest hint of disagreement. Disagreement is not fighting. We must disagree. I would be extremely worried if we did not. And I encourage you to disagree. We will disagree with Business Botswana. There will be certain instances where we converge in terms of thoughts and ideas, practices and approaches. It's all very well. And when we differ, and we mediate our differences with civility and respect, in the quest to find each other, that's part of democracy. That's what democracy is all about. So I get worried when people seem to cringe, balk at the slightest disagreement, and interpret it to be hostility. I thrive on disagreement. I'm a creature of disagreement. I was trained to disagree. I'm both a rebel and a truth seeker. How can I fear disagreement? And so feel free to disagree with me. I'm not a hothouse plant that wilts when exposed to the sun. No, I don't. I actually thrive when you expose me to the harsh winds of criticism. I love it. That's my training. And so I encourage that we differ, we disagree, we probe, we examine, we challenge robustly but respectfully. Some of the envoys, like my good friend Fazam Kamalabad, remember arguing debating, discussing issues into the early hours of the morning in Dubai, long before I came close to occupying the current position. And we were planning for exactly these moments. And so when the moment came, I was happy to appoint him one of my special envoys and advisors. Not just because he's a Harvard-trained economist. That didn't play a part, just from the engagements that I had with him over a long period of time. And he's part of us. He's with us, spends most of his time here, and I thank him. I thank all the other envoys. I see many of them here, folks doing great work for this country and receiving no payment for it. They travel the world at their own expense. They are passionate, they are committed to the growth and the success of this republic. I am much in their debt. I thank them profusely and most profoundly. Thank you very much. The BITC chairperson is here with us. We thank her, we recognize her. We recognize Ray Jewel Ramapoy, the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Trade and Entrepreneurship. We also recognize the board of directors of BITC, the chief executive of BITC. I recognize all other CEOs who are here. I saw you folks were part of an alluring constellation, said 100 of the best CEOs in the country. And I looked at the faces and profiles, and I remembered a statement by one author. Anton Chekhov says, "Do not tell me the moon is shining. Show me a glint of light on broken glass." I said to myself, I don't want to hear that these folks are the best CEOs, 100 of the very best creme de la creme. I want to see results on the ground. I want to see projects tangible, deliverable, transformative actions that speak to and impact the lives of real people, creatures of flesh and blood, subsisting at the margins of our society, in the underbelly of our economy, folks catching hell and looking to these 100 of the best CEOs for solutions to the problems that press them down. I want to see solutions from these 100 of the best. This is what society is yearning for. And so we appreciate the accolades, we recognize the CEOs. We must now see some action. That was just to recognize you. And celebrate your successes. All representatives of the private sector, I appreciate you. The media as well. some of the folks who should be encouraging lively, robust engagements in our society, the media. Sometimes they are finicky. They fear engagement. When the spotlight is shown on them, they get confounded and confused and trip and fall. But we must subject them to scrutiny as well. In the same way that we expect them to subject you to scrutiny. And we ask of them that they report accurately, factually, freely, that they do not pass their unanchored speculations and opinions off as fact. Most of you folks get vilified, roasted publicly over sentiments and presuppositions that are factually incorrect, allegations divorced from reality, and they are splashed, occupy acres of newspaper space, forcing you to always be rebutting, answering, and wasting a lot of your time. We would rather spend our time engaging on serious matters. Fact being reported, supported by evidence. Then we have some meaningful discourse engagement. Otherwise, everything else is a waste of everybody's time. But we thank the media. We thank them for the work that they either do or attempt to do or wish they did. We have a number of very important guests here. I was told Didier Drogba would be here, and I see him. And I also see Emil Heskey, whose erstwhile team has done very well recently, but seems to be faltering now. And we hope that in your falterings, Men United might just slip through and get to the very top. We hope. But thank you very much for being here with us today. Beloved guests, ladies and gentlemen, I've recognized and appreciated you as best could be done in these circumstances, with due diffidence and admiration. We are here at the 2025 Global Expo Botswana, which marks the dawn of a bold new chapter in our nation's economic transformation. Coinciding with the inaugural Pula Investment Conference, this gathering seeks to unlock high-potential business opportunities, to connect credible investors with transformative projects, and forge partnerships that will drive sustainable growth for Botswana and the region. The Global Expo Botswana, managed by BITC, remains our premier international business-to-business platform, bringing together innovators, industry leaders, and visionaries from across the world. It is a catalyst for collaboration that strengthens Botswana's position as a prime investment destination. Aligned with this, the Pula Investment Conference has been conceptualized to accelerate our Botswana Economic Transformation Program. This is a bold, forward-looking initiative designed to reshape the very fabric of our economy. Through its lab processes, we have refined and filtered investment opportunities to ensure that only the most impactful, actionable projects take center stage today. Our vision as a country is clear: to become a high-income, digitally enabled, export-driven, people-centered and diversified nation. We strive for a Botswana where every citizen has equal opportunity, meaningful work, and the empowerment to lead a fulfilling life. Despite the challenges that we face, of which we are fully aware, to which we are fully alive, we remain strong as a country. We stride into the future with renewed hope. We are focused on impact. We want to transform the country. We have to transform. We have the added pressure now, the pressure of calamity. We have to transform under pressure of calamity. The monosectoral economy that we have been is severely challenged. Our over-reliance on diamonds has placed us in the most precarious of circumstances. We have to find alternatives, and quickly. We are in a do-or-die situation. We need disruption, disruptive thinking, innovation. We need to move away from our entrenched habits and patterns of thought. We need to push each other and push each other hard so that we overcome the inertia of present circumstances. We must take meaningful strides in renewable energy, in software technologies, in IT services, and we must create jobs for our people. At the heart of our progress lies this government's commitment to a business-friendly environment. We are diversifying beyond mining and nurturing innovation-driven growth through targeted policies and sector-specific incentives. I had a meeting with government accounting officers yesterday, engaged with them, and we agreed that the first 12 months in office of this new government were largely about learning and unlearning. We must now leverage. Others have thought there must be a wholesale sacking of officers, CEOs, government officials. We took a more mature, more sensible, more constructive, what I believe is the best course of action. There couldn't have been any better. Transition into a new government is not a wholesale condemnation of each and every person who was in post. That is not, couldn't be. On what basis would we be taking such decisions? Many of the challenges are systemic. I've said many times, I say it today, I'll say it until it has been resolved. The biggest obstacle to government and governance is government itself. This is not some sanitized mode of thought and speech. No. It's the truth. Government is its own problem, its own worst enemy. The processes are dilatory. Entities operate in isolation. The one not aware of what the other is attempting to do. Unnecessary repetition and duplication, self-sabotage across. These are realities we must confront and resolve together. And we cannot resolve them by pretending they do not exist. We cannot resolve them by sidestepping them. No, we must confront them head on and deal with them honestly, openly, with humility. This is what we must do. No hubris, no arrogance, an appreciation of these realities that confront us and which we must deal with. Today, we unveil proudly our investor deal book. This is a curated collection of 66 investment-ready projects made up of 52 from the private sector and 14 from the public sector across diverse industries including mining, agriculture, ICT, tourism, health, financial services, infrastructure, and manufacturing. Each project has been developed for measurable transformative results. This marks a pivotal moment in our effort to catalyze sustainable economic growth and long-term partnerships. And I must commend BITC for its exceptional work in investment promotion. Beyond this expo, BITC continues to seek global partnerships, and it leads. It has curated a selection of 14 groundbreaking projects from the Botswana Economic Transformation Program labs. And these projects will be presented at the Africa Financial Services Investment Conference in London this October, a major opportunity to elevate Botswana's profile and secure strategic investment for our country's next growth phase. To you all, our esteemed guests, Your presence here today is a powerful statement of confidence in our potential, in Botswana's potential. Over the next 2 days, you will engage with the nation's most visionary entrepreneurs and innovators. I urge you to explore boldly, question deeply, and form partnerships that will shape Botswana's future. This conference is not merely a forum, it is a call to action. Together, let us invest, build, and transform. With the Investor Deal Book as our guide, we are not just imagining a prosperous future. We are constructing it here and now. So let us seize this moment to propel Botswana into a future of resilience, sustainability, and inclusive growth. A diversified, digitally enabled, globally competitive economy for generations to come. That responsibility rests squarely on the shoulders of each and every man and woman, adult or young person in this room and more broadly within the borders of this country and indeed beyond. And so we are here today to mark the first steps in that direction. And so, having welcomed you, thanked you, recognized your contributions, I must now thank you for the privilege of your company here and the pleasure of your kind attention. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, if I could kindly ask you to please just remain where to offer you a token of appreciation. Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause, please. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to also invite onto the stage our guest speaker, who is also going to receive a token of appreciation. Right. If I could invite our guest speaker, Mr. Gumel, to also present a token of appreciation to the President. Mr. Gumel. And if you are from Botswana, you certainly appreciate how much the president appreciates the t-shirt from Dining with the Stars, the Diamonds, as he's a very avid dancer himself. And in case you didn't know, the Vice President of the Republic has invited the President next year's Independence for a dance-off. So we clearly have an outfit for the President. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, Mr. President, Mr. Minister, on guests. Thank you so much, Madam Chair. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. You may be seated. This next segment shines a light on Botswana's investment momentum, where vision meets action. To guide us through the announcement of key national projects, including those under the public-private partnership framework, please join me in welcoming a leader who continues to drive Botswana investment agenda with focus and foresight. Ladies and gentlemen, the Chief Executive Officer of the Botswana Investment and Trade Center, Mr. Kidusitse Olibile.
Thank you so much, Director of Ceremony. Allow me to recognize Mr. President of the Republic of Botswana, Advocate Duma Gideon Boko, honorable ministers in the room today, senior government officials, captains of industry, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to you. I think at this moment, Mr. President, we can say the challenge has been received and embraced. For all the efforts that we are always putting up, promoting Botswana, not only as BITC, but as the investment cluster, as a collective. We are multiple in our numbers. We have to somewhere have a pause and reflect moment where we need to reveal what is coming out of all the efforts that have been made. Ladies and gentlemen, this section that I'm chairing is a session of revelation where we are revealing some of the projects that are establishing in Botswana so that we bring forward that moment of re-energizing and confidence that it's not all efforts in vain. So the first project that we'll be revealing to you this morning is in the area of hemp. Thank you, Mr. President, for believing in the positive contribution of this particular plant of hemp. And I did not take the thunder from the presenter, who will be joining us by video from Hemp Innovations. If we could have the video, please.
Good day, my name is Claes Dahlén and I'm the founder and the CEO of Hemp Innovations Europe. First of all, I would like to thank and extend my gratefulness to the visionary president of Botswana for profoundly understanding the enormous potential of industrial hemp and the sister plant of cannabis. Also, I would like to thank all government officials and all the people at BITC, Buan and Nardi, and everyone else that has contributed to the project and the signing of the MOU, which will enable us to collaborate and be a part of forming the future of Botswana's agriculture so we can deliver sustainable products of high economic and social value for Botswana. So why industrial hemp? Well, we know that it's the most versatile plant on the planet, and we can make over 50,000 bioproducts. It absorbs 4 times more carbon dioxide than existing forests, which can help us to save a big part of the rainforests. Every year we actually create new forests, and will be an important factor to stop the deforestation as well that's going on. Industrial hemp needs no pesticides and demands less water than any other crop. This will also enhance the farmer's soil quality, especially when you rotate different crops. And it creates biodiversity for important pollinators. And we can also create jobs, more jobs for women and young people and others that are currently unemployed. And when it comes to different applications from industrial hemp and medical cannabis, we have partners that we work with and will work with in the future that are experts in different sectors, such as medical products and health products and supplements. We are creating housing and construction material, such as hempwood, which is 20% harder than oak, and it's carbon dioxide negative. We also have hempcrete, or light concrete, which we build houses from. And this is just a small piece from larger blocks that we can use to build affordable living for many thousands of people. We also, from the bast fiber, we make textile material from the fiber. So the plant is absolutely outstanding when it comes to delivering bioproducts in many, many sectors. An interesting part is the seeds of the plant, which we create food products that are very rich in protein and omega-3. And it contains no gluten or allergens, which is just a perfect nutrition food for everyone. This one you can sprinkle salads, or you can use it in the yogurt or the porridge in the morning. So all we do with industrial hemp and all the products we make in Northern Europe and we can make in Botswana, they will perfectly meet and comply with the African Agenda 2063. So now we have registered a local company in Botswana, and we're planning for a pilot program to start growing hemp as soon as we possibly can. We have worked on a strategic plan and financial plan that will take us all the way into the next coming decades. So thank you very much again. I'm very happy to be a part of this fantastic project and development of Botswana, and we deeply look forward to a great, sustainable and a prosperous future. Thank you very much.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen, a pioneering operation in the hemp industry. As he said, they've signed an MOU with Buan and Nadi, and they will be commencing their piloting plantation in the lands of Buan in Sebele. But beyond that, they are also being facilitated to partner with the community, possibly the community of Mokane, so that they can then go large scale. So there we go, hemp in Botswana. We have other companies that are still at the early stage of evaluation, and they will also be coming on board, Mr. President. The next company that we want to reveal is Silibe Pikwe Citrus. We know that a number of years ago, there was nothing about citrus that we could talk about in Botswana. But here came a pioneering company that located near Pikwe, To date, they have effectively sold their produce in some of the advanced markets like the EU, Russia, Canada, the UAE, and many others to count. Now they are on an expansion drive, as we will hear from another video. They are currently in Madrid as part of facilitating this expansion, luring partners. But the citrus video, please.
Good morning. My name is Dr. Peter Scholes. I'm the CEO and majority shareholder in Celebi Piquet Citrus. It's a privilege to stand before you today to share the remarkable journey of Celebi Piquet Citrus, a story of a vision, resilience, and transformational partnership. When we began this project, our dream was to turn the fertile land of Celebi Piquet Citrus into a thriving citrus hub that would bring the life back to the region, to create jobs and open new markets for the Botswana agricultural sector. To date, we have invested over 447 million Botswana Pula into the project, building orchards, irrigation schemes, big citrus packhouse facilities that leads international standards. The investment is not only transforming land and productivity, but communities into opportunities. I'm proud to share that we have already created over 405 jobs. Beyond these numbers, there's livelihoods restored, skills developed, and families empowered. Through strong collaboration with the government of Botswana, the Botswana Investment and Trade Center, CISA, and the Ministry of Land and Agriculture, as well as other development partners, we have successfully opened up export markets for the Botswana fruit. This past year, we have exported to the European Union, the Canadian market, the UK, United Arab Emirates, and Russia. We are also in the process to open up 4 new very important markets. It is South Korea, China, India, and the United States of America. These partnerships have shown that when we work together, Botswana can effectively compete on the global stage. What makes us even more exciting is that our pioneering success has paved the way for other citrus producers in Botswana, creating a platform for inclusive growth and expanding the country's footprint into the global citrus industry. Looking ahead, we are not stopping here. We are now actively expanding into the Diklatong area, further increasing the national hectarage and production capacity. The next phase representing an additional investment of 500 million Botswana Pula and is expected to create additional 1,500 jobs. Celebi Piquet Citrus is more than a farming project. It is a symbol of Botswana's immense potential when the private sector, government, and communities unite behind a shared vision. Together, we are proving that Botswana can not only grow citrus, but grow prosperity, opportunities, and national pride. I thank you.
I hope each one of us in the room can see the opportunity. Yes, we are talking about the 2 large-scale farms in Botswana, but we are trying to push a model that embraces outgrowers. So that really says those that reside in regions that can effectively produce citrus must also go into that game, because you can link with the big players and be able to land in the same international markets. Allow me to then call another major company, which is the Dangote Group. They are with us in the room. Their CEO from South Africa, Duncan Lay, can come forward and reveal to us what they are having for Botswana.
Good morning, everyone. We would also like to thank you very much for hosting us. It's an honor to be here and have this opportunity to invest in Botswana. I would just like to echo the sentiments that were expressed by the President early on and that's to BRTC for an amazing job they've done in working with potential investors, and we've been very pleased to be part of that. We are, Sepaku Cement is also known as Dangote Cement South Africa, are part of the Dangote Group. The Dangote Group is the major shareholder in us, and the Dangote Group is the most proficient, largest cement producer in the continent. We have extensive experience in cement. Many of the people have been in the cement industry for over 20 years, so we bring with us a lot of experience in cement. The Dangote Group, I'll show you a map shortly, has cement operations in 10 African countries and growing, with an annual capacity in excess of 48 million tons. And that 48 million tons, and you don't build cement capacity very quickly, that's been done in just under 30 years of producing that phenomenal capacity. Dangote Cement South Africa was the first new entrant in South Africa since 1934, and in a period of 10 years, we've become the third largest producer. We've got two major operations. Well, sorry, let me just come back to that. This is the Dangote Group, just a map of where they are. So as I say, in 10 countries, soon to be in 11, but very well spread, huge investments. This is where our operations are in South Africa. We have one in the Northwest Province, which is very, very close to Gaborone, as you can see, and a grinding station in Mpumalanga Province in South Africa. Our plan is to bring in bulk cement in trucks, in bulk bags. These trucks will then proceed from the plant to Morapuli coal mine to buy coal. So we will almost match every ton brought in with a ton of coal procured from Botswana. The cement will be offloaded, it'll be packed into bags and distributed into the Botswana market. I won't spend too much time on this. The total investment value we're not quite what the citrus gentleman has said, but 65 million Pula will be the initial investment for this plant. And to the extent possible, all materials we required will be procured locally as much as we can. So there's a lot of products and input materials that we buy, and we will make sure that we can buy as many from here as we can. That's just the operation, very simple. I don't want to go into too much detail. Bring cement in, process it, and distribute it. That's just a picture of what our plant will look like. We won't worry about that. That's where the green block is the site that we have located. It's 15 kilometers north of Gaborone on the A1. So the proximity to both Gabs and the rest of Botswana, it's got a great location right on the main arterial. Just some illustrations of where the current markets. We are currently in Botswana as an exporter from South Africa, but that will be changing. And once we have invested, we will then be considered a local player. The opportunity for future markets, once we're there, is then will be there. The other interesting thing, and I'll just go to. Sorry, let me just come back to that. So, the one thing that we will be looking at as phase 2 of this operation. So the first phase is to build a bulk offloading and packing plant. The next phase will be to see if we can get into blending by procuring ash, fly ash. It's from coal-fired power stations. There are power stations up in the Morapuli area. We'll be investigating that option to be able to use ash to extend, so it'll be less cement that has to come in. That's just a map of where our site is. Just in terms of staffing, very briefly, we plan to employ 36 people for this job, for this project. All staff would be Botswana nationals. The only reason we would not want if we couldn't find the skill, but we think that's highly unlikely. I'm sure we'll find all the skills we need here. And obviously all staff will be remunerated in accordance with local legislation. That's a very brief project plan, not too much detail, but the bottom line is we should break ground in Q1 next year, and we should be operational towards the end of Q4 next year. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, CEO. There we have it, Dangote Cement, entering Botswana. The next company that I was to introduce is also in the cement industry, called Cheetah Cement, but unfortunately they couldn't be with us this morning. It's an outfit out of Hong Kong, joint venturing with our friends in Namibia. Some would know them as having previously bought the Matsiluje cement out near Francistown. They found it fitting to also establish a bigger grinding mill to the side of Gaborone. For those of you that know where Technofees is, along the A1, they are busy locating along, around that area so that they can also produce cement. The last company that will showcase, and there are many, many more that we could go to, is Zotas Group, which has brought in some of the dignitaries that were earlier on revealed by Mr. President. But first, let me call Mr. Simango Davidson to come and share a bit of what the project does, and then we will get to other further formalities by them. Davidson?
Dumela. Mr. President, distinguished ministers, leaders, partners, and friends, and most importantly, the people of Botswana. First, I give honor to God Almighty, for it is only by His grace that we are gathered on a threshold of a new beginning. It is my privilege to present Zotas City, a visionary special economic zone to be developed at Junction 44 in Hanzi, along the Trans-Kalahari corridor. This city will be anchored on these pillars: smart urban development, housing, healthcare, and education, green energy, a 300-megawatt solar CSP plant, and sustainable utilities, transport and logistics, expansion of Hanzi Airport into the international hub, innovation and technology, with data centers, a digital infrastructure, financial services hub, opening Botswana as a new gateway for trade and investment, for tourism and lifestyle, positioning Hanzi as a global ecotourism destination. At full operation, Zotas City represents an investment of over $50 billion and the creation of over 20,000 construction jobs during construction, and more than 75,000 direct and indirect jobs over the next decade. It will diversify Botswana's economy, strengthen regional trade, attract new industries, and open opportunities for youth and entrepreneurs. To bring this vision to life, we are partnering with world-class institutions, Subhana Jurong, Jack Ingalls Group, Behind Qiddiya, Neom City in Saudi Arabia, to showcase the scale of ambition guiding Zotas City. We are also honored to be legally guided by King & Spalding, one of the world's top-tier international law firms with deep expertise in giga projects. And I am proud to introduce our global ambassadors, Didier Drogba, here with us today, and Emil Heskey, our co-founding partner, as well as my colleagues, Ruhina Begum, CSR Director, and Arif Kadafani, our senior partner, all of whom stand with us to champion community empowerment, investor confidence, and this bold vision for Botswana. Today, as we sign a tri-party MOU with BITC, Hanzi District, and the Trans-Kalahari Corridor Secretariat, we declare to the world, Hanzi is ready, Botswana is ready, and Africa is ready. Today's occasion is symbolic. It does not yet mark the legal conclusion of the land transfer ceremony, but it represents something equally powerful, a public covenant of intent. And I also want to thank the Office of the President, Maleboho, for great facilitation, the BITC team, as well as everybody from the London office. May God bless this land, this nation, and our shared journey. And at this juncture, may I kindly ask the media team just to play a short video clip that we would like to present to the audience. Thank you.
And destiny. Welcome to Botswana. Welcome to the future. Zotis City, Africa's smart gateway to the world. Strategically positioned on the Trans-Kalahari Corridor, Zotis is more than a city. It is a global hub for trade, connectivity, and opportunity. In partnership with the government of Botswana, the Botswana Investment and Trade Center, and the Trans-Kalahari Corridor Secretariat, Zotis City stands as a bold symbol of public-private collaboration, anchored in trust, vision, and shared prosperity. Powered by clean energy from a 300-megawatt solar plant, sustained by a cross-border water pipeline, connected by an expanded international airport, and fueled by a special economic zone designed to unlock Africa's potential. This is infrastructure reimagined. This is progress without limits. With global icons like Didier Drogba and Emile Heskey, and world-class partners across law, design, and investment, Zotis City brings the world to Botswana, and Botswana to the world. Creating over 20,000 jobs, transforming education, healthcare, and opportunity for generations. Zotis City is for the people, by the people, a shining light for Africa's next chapter. Zotis City, the future is here, launching at the Pula Global Expo 2025, building Africa's smart future.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen, Zotis City. We just have to believe sometimes. They came, they presented, some doubted, but we believed. And we mobilized to provide all the enablers. And the project is now in motion. As you see, the dignitaries who've come all the way today to come and witness yet another milestone towards its launch. On this note, allow me to invite on stage the other dignitaries by Zotis Group. There are a few MOUs to be signed, and this is the signing table. Didier Drogba, please come up. Emile Heskey, please join us. Ruhina, please join us. Leslie Mpofu from the Trans-Kalahari Corridor Secretariat. And Arif Kalafani, please join us. Ladies and gentlemen, this group had signed an MOU with the Office of the President, and now as part of cascading down to actual facilitation, they are today signing further MOUs with responsible partners for the provision of land, responsible partners for development of the Trans-Kalahari Corridor. So the first MOU, and I'm asking the team to come up with the actual MOUs to facilitate, will be with the Khanti Land Board, the Khanti Land Board to represent the Land Authority. Do we have the MOUs? Yes, there we go. Okay, so the first signing we will witness is with Zotis Group and Khanti Land Board, which has been consulted and it's ready to facilitate. Oh, they say Khanti District Council. My apologies. Thank you. Tobo, you can facilitate the signing. se ba kopa setshwantsho le wena mongame.
Element of surprise, fire and water, the land and the air. Pay close attention, got to be vigilant. Everyday life getting stranger than fiction.
I've been informed that we are slightly behind time. The President will have to depart to go and tour the stalls. But while we are at it, Mr. President, I'm told, yes, the President will be exiting. Can we rise in honor? He's going to tour our stalls. But while they are doing that, the program will continue. I have been informed that we have Cheetah Cement in the room. I was originally told they are not here, but they can come up and also present their project. Cheetah? Cheetah Cement, if you are here, is it you? Oh, nice, sorry. Welcome. Thank you so much.
Your Excellency, President of the Republic of Botswana, honorable ministers here present, esteemed dignitaries, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Advocate Duma Gideon. It is both a privilege and a deeply meaningful moment for me to stand before you today to speak on behalf of Cheetah Cement Botswana on our shared future of ambition, of partnership, and of the bold steps we must make together to transform Botswana's industrial landscape. Thank you for giving us the time and attention. And to the BITC, thank you for bringing us together to dream bigger and work harder for the future of our nation. Why Botswana? Why now? Why Cheetah Cement? We see Botswana not just as a land of promise, but a land of possibility. We see a government committed to industrialization, a people with energy and aspiration, and a nation ready to take its rightful place as a manufacturing hub in the region. Our group of companies are not new to growth across continents. Our global footprint spans China, Uzbekistan, Mozambique, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and Ethiopia. As of December 2024, the group's cement production capacity stood at 39.3 million tons annually across 21 cement production lines. This scale gives us experience, resilience, and certainty in knowing what it takes to deliver sustainable industrial success. We now bring that same expertise, that resolve, and that long-term vision into Botswana through Cheetah Cement Botswana, This is a joint venture involving Whale Rock Cement and strategic partners from China and Singapore. Our investment here is not speculative, it is deliberate, grounded in faith, in Botswana's leadership, its people, and its potential. We have already established a presence 40 kilometers northeast of Francistown, near Matsiloje, registered in Botswana with an annual cement production capacity of 30,000 tons. At that facility, we currently manufacture two types of cement, CEM2 32.5N and CEM1 42.5N. Importantly, we are making use of local industry byproducts, being nickel slag powder from Matsiloje and fly ash from the Palape power plant. By utilizing these materials, we are already strengthening local value chains, reducing waste, and bringing cost efficiencies. Our next leap is a grinding station near Gaborone. We have acquired 19 hectares of land, about 20 kilometers from Gaborone, upon which we intend to build a cement grinding station with a capacity of 800,000 tons per annum. To bring this into context, the capacity is going to be at least 26 times bigger than our current plant in Matsiloje. Here is what we will produce. CEM1 AM 42.5N and CEM2 BM 32.5R. Of the output, 80% will be bagged, 20% transported in bulk. And as with our first plant, we will draw heavily on fly ash from Palape and nickel slag from Matsiloje. This plant is a $50 million US investment. We've engaged Royal Pioneer Investments to carry out an environmental impact assessment and rehabilitation program, which is slated for completion by end of October. Construction should take about 10 months, which means we will be ready within a year. During the construction phase, 515 workers will be employed, 125 expatriates, and 390 local Botswana. Once operational, the facility will absorb 120 locals into full-time production roles. We will maintain rigorous standards of safety, environmental stewardship, and industrial best practice, including regular safety training, inspections, and proactive risk mitigation. Now, what this means for Botswana is reducing import reliance and strengthening sovereignty. Currently, Botswana remains heavily dependent on cement imports, particularly from neighboring South Africa and Namibia. This dependency carries foreign exchange pressures, logistical inefficiencies, and exposure to supply chain volatility. By localizing a significant share of supply, particularly in the south near Gaborone, we aim to shift that dynamic, bringing resilience, competitiveness, and sovereignty back to Botswana's construction and infrastructure sectors. Value chains, circular economy, and resource utilization. Our use of fly ash and nickel slag is not simply an operational choice. It is an act of economic integration and circularity. These industrial byproducts, currently underutilized, become inputs into our current cement production. These industrial byproducts, currently underutilized, become inputs into our cement production. That means a lower carbon footprint, cost savings, and the revival of dormant materials into productive value. Job creation, skills development, and local empowerment. From construction through operation, we are bringing employment opportunities to Botswana. But more than that, we're committed to skills transfer, apprenticeships, technical training, safety culture, engineering capacity, and management leadership. Our model is to grow capability so that over time, fewer expatriate roles are necessary and more leadership is homegrown. Contribution to Botswana's industrial ambition. Cheetah Cement seeks to be such a catalyst, one of several industrial anchors that enable the leap from commodity reliance to diversified industrial strength. Why stakeholder support? No major industrial project can truly succeed without partnership from the state and other stakeholders. We are grateful to the many government departments that have already offered backing and guidance. We will need continued and sustained support in several key areas. Timely approvals for environmental, planning, and construction phases. Facilitation of land, infrastructure, roads, power, and water connections. Policy alignment to support local raw material utilization, beneficiation, import substitution, and fair trade. Support in skills development and certification to align our workforce with national labor strategies. In return, we pledge transparency, ethical governance, paramount responsibility to the environment, and above all, a partnership that places Botswana first, making a meaningful contribution to the economy. To BITC, we appreciate your facilitation through the Botswana One-Stop Service Center, BOSSC, for providing facilitation on work and residence permits, visas, EIA, consultancy services on land transfer, utilities connections, stakeholder engagements with various government arms like BURS and BOBS. As Cheetah Cement Botswana, we dream of a Botswana where infrastructure is built with homemade cement, where value is added locally, where jobs are created locally, where Botswana are not merely consumers of imported materials, but producers and exporters of industrial strength. Cheetah Cement Botswana is here because we believe in that future, because we believe in Botswana, because we believe in what this country can build, literally and symbolically. We are ready to deliver. Let us build together. Thank you for your audience. Nelwanki Pula.
All right, let's see if you still got that energy in the room. Can we have a round of applause, please? Thank you so much. We continue with our pledges, and I'm going to invite on stage Ms. Naledi Madala. Now, she's made it very clear that somewhere in your programs, she has been written as doctor. She says she's not a doctor yet. So she was just trying to clear that so that no one gets into trouble. Ladies and gentlemen, Senior Economic Advisor from the Ministry of Finance, Ms. Naledi Madala. A round of applause, please.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Please allow me to stand on the salutations that have already been made in this platform. I've been asked to speak a little bit about the Botswana Economic Transformation Program. And Mr. President and even Minister Nzima spend a little bit of their time in their speeches referring to the Botswana Economic Transformation Program. And towards the end of my presentation, I'll also tease out a few of the projects from the Botswana Economic Transformation Program. You would note in our slide that we did not reveal the investment amount that we are going to crowd in through the Botswana Economic Transformation Program. We did not reveal the employment, but all of these numbers, we have them. We're just trying to respect the process because this report is currently before Cabinet actually this afternoon, so we shied away from revealing those. But to really get to share a little bit more about the Botswana Economic Transformation Program, I think I'm really building on the solid vision that has already been articulated to by the President, and I think we can all agree that it is the vision of an all-of-government transformation, because it is really transformation from all angles of the economy. We have truly been called as a people, as a nation, to reimagine Botswana's economic trajectory, to think and act differently, and to embrace what is often called business unusual approach. And in response, the BETP is one of those responses that the government has responded in. We were very deliberate when we anchored on Pemandu's big fast results methodology, because I think it has always been said that Botswana has beautiful policies, beautiful strategies, but we often lack when it comes to implementation. And the Pemandu's big fast results methodology is such a laser-focused methodology when it comes to issues of implementation. It is an execution-focused path. The journey really started with a diagnostic phase where Cabinet, led by Mr. President, set to land on the True North. And you would have heard the President alluding to our True North, which is our guiding star as a nation to become a high-income Botswana that is digitally enabled, export-driven, economically diversified, where every citizen is employed and empowered and fulfilled. So that is the anchor of the transformation agenda for the government. 6 economic sectors were selected: agri, manufacturing, finance and services, and digitalization, infrastructure, tourism, energy and mining. And on the social side, healthcare, education and social protection were selected. We also did a call for ideas, really saying, inviting the entire world, the globe, local and international innovators, entrepreneurs, investors and institutions, both locally and globally, to share with us their transformative ideas. And quite frankly, the response was overwhelming. We received 6,925 project submissions, each of these with potential to reshape the economy of Botswana. We then had to follow a very rigorous exercise, a 2-stage filtration exercise, which at the beginning led us to prioritization of 246 EPPs, or entry point projects, and we then went into the labs. And I must say, you know, for those, I saw a number of people here who actually participated in the labs, and I think we can say, you know, as a country, we had an opportunity to be part of something magnificent. You know, co-creation was in action. We had men and women traveling from abroad, traveling from other countries, traveling from all corners of this country to dedicate a whole month in the labs. I think as a team, we were quite anxious at the beginning of the exercise to say, are we really going to get that level of commitment? But I can assure you that for each and every day in that month, we had on average about 250 people dedicated to these different labs to co-create, to look at these 246 selected projects, to really ensure that these projects are bankable, they are commercially viable, to ensure that whatever is a bottleneck that could stop this project from being executed successfully is well taken care of. And from that, we had to drop off some as we continue doing more stress testing in the labs. We ended up with 186 projects across different sectors. As you can see that we have in the energy and mining sector, we have 31 projects that are in the Botswana Economic Transformation Program. We have social protection 9, healthcare 18, education sector 27, tourism 21, infrastructure and so forth and so forth. Now, each and every one of these projects they have a three-feet implementation plan. It is very clear, and there's so much clarity in terms of who is going to be doing what at which point, which is something that brings in the missing element of the execution part of what we've been doing as a country. I think what the private sector, the people of Botswana showed in terms of responding to the Botswana Economic Transformation Program call for ideas really did just enhance or showed that there is a lot of hunger to bring in transformative projects into the country. What we also did was to separate the projects in terms of readiness. So from the lab, we have those that we called making the most, meaning that these projects are almost ready. They need just very minor facilitation. And we have 60 high impact ready EPPs, meaning that these are the projects that they have high readiness, short time frame in terms of it being enabled. They have high returns to investment. And then on the other side, we also have the projects that we call new opportunities, meaning that yes, this project is it is transformative, but it will take just a little bit of more time than the 60 ones that are the EPPs. Then we had 39, which we call the enablers. Now, I've been asked to tease out, as Olibile did say that this is a revealing session. I've been asked to tease out some of these projects in the Botswana Economic Transformation Program. And as I said earlier, that this report is currently before Cabinet actually today. We have limited what we will tease out to yourselves only to the fully private sector projects, and we'll just showcase about 4. But please do remember that we have a total of 186 projects, really big mega infrastructure projects are in there, PPP projects are in there, significant projects across the sectors are in there. And when you do finally get the report, you'll actually realize that for each and every one of those projects, it is very clear in terms of whether it is fully funded or it is looking for some partial funding. And I believe that a lot of you would be willing to take part or reach out to the project owners to be part of this transformation exercise for the country. Now, the first project that teasing out is the iron extraction project. This project is actually in Selebe Pikwe by Sharashia Proprietary Limited. It really does epitomize a shift from exporting raw material to adding value right here at home. It aims to transform locally sourced iron ore into sponge iron and eventually into steel. It will definitely reduce the cost of imports. It will create jobs. I think the number of jobs are also shown there at the bottom in terms of how many jobs they expect to create over the next decade. We're very conservative in terms of the job numbers, but I think it still shows that this is a truly transformative project, and it will really has significance because it will revitalize Selebe Pikwe industrial base. I think this is a region that has historically been significant to Botswana's industrial economy, and it's through projects like this one that we aim to bring that back. The second project that I'll also tease out is this one on IV fluids manufacturing project, and I think this project is very relevant and deserves some spotlight to be shined on it, also because of what the challenges that we are currently experiencing in the health sector as a country. I think it is through being very intentional in terms of bringing down the expenditure in the healthcare sector by bringing home some of the manufacturing of what we use in the health sector right here at home. I think this is one of those projects that has potential to bring that down. It does embody the principle of import substitution. It will ensure that the Botswana's healthcare system is resilient, is cost efficient, and is industrially integrated into the local economy. I think the job numbers are also there, and it has partial funding, and a lot of work has been done in this project, but it is looking for it is looking for just 18.8 million. The next one, I really liked it earlier when our guest of honor, Mr. Gumel, spoke about the issue of sustainability, and the model used for this Moringa project by Farmers International Pride is also one of those that really is about building communities and ensuring that everybody gets hands-on, because it's about clustering different farmers and ensuring that they become become part of the value chain, and it's looking to create over 15,000 projects. It is also looking for 61 million in terms of investment. The last one is the Cahill, this is Guyana Metals. It is also a very good project because it puts Botswana at the forefront of the global energy transition. I think we all realize how relevant that is for the current environment. Now, I have lost time, but I just wanted to leave this here to say 186 projects, similar approach, and for the top part is the project owners for the projects that we have just highlighted. If you want to get in contact with them, see how you can partner with them. They're looking for partnerships. Please do reach out. Keep us in copy as the BTAP Secretariat. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your audience.
All right, a round of applause again, ladies and gentlemen. I am now going to call on stage an individual who has assured me they will take the 5 minutes that has been designated to them. I have requested maybe if he wanted 6, he said no, he will certainly only take 5. And that is, of course, the presidential envoy. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause, please, for Dr. Fazam Kamalabad.
Dumelang, best morning, even though we are near the noon. Every day is the best morning, not only good morning. With the lights, I don't see you that well. I always look into the eyes and the souls of the audience. But I will use my gamma X-ray soul power. Blessings, blessings. It is with humility and gratitude that I stand in front of you. The leadership and the community and enterprise and government leadership of Botswana. The magical land that only when I lived here I understood what a great blessing the Lord has bestowed upon me to serve this nation. My time is brief, and I want to first thank still Mr. President, Mr. Vice President, even Madam PSP, DPSP, the Speaker of Parliament, all the leaders, ministers, because in the past 6 months, and exactly 6 months ago, I was appointed by Mr. President, the Presidential Envoy on International Relations and Economic Development. Myself and a large team, not yet, I haven't yet contributed well. When it comes, I'll call a meeting and we will clap, not to me, to the nation. Okay. In the 6 months, my able teams and myself, we moved here, 3 of us and then 2, 5 of us here now, 6 months, 4 months. We have had engagements, at least 102 meetings with the different ministries, government and enterprises, including Business Botswana, several times. My job is not to delve into projects now, because I have a spirit. We cannot overpromise, under-deliver. So we will under-promise and just deliver, and hopefully prolifically. What we did is the following overview. My topic is called the Strategic Initiatives Overview. In the past 6 months, we have brought here 20+ delegations, totaling 60 investors from 30 countries, from Czech Republic, US, Europe, Australia, now Switzerland, and China, Hong Kong, public listed companies, and very diverse. They have been in many fields. Some have come third time today, they are with me. and some second time. So only in 4 or 5 months, actually. Now, today with me there is 15 members of a delegation that came in short notice of 2 weeks. That is commitment. They, like me, love humility. They take back seat, billionaire and companies that are committing to billions of dollars. But they are also, in humility, the job is to accomplish tasks. Among, as I said, 60 that have written expressions of interest, about 50, 55. So they include, for example, a commitment to train 150 Botswana every year in diamond cutting in Armenia, paying for the trip, for the stay, for the food and everything, bringing them back and create a joint venture here. That's one type of project. We have iron ore smelting, and the person doesn't want to be announced. Said, once I deliver, then you can announce me. But he is in the audience for the 3rd time coming here. So that's the caliber of people. Billionaire. I know them for 30 years. All the people I bring here, they know, and I know them mostly for 20 years or plus. A few are new. And all of them come with humility to serve the nation of Botswana and to create beneficiation. We have railroad investors in infrastructures, one from Czech Republic, one from China. And the China side, they said that we will not come this trip, even though they got their visas, until we have communicated and we know we are actually really contributing. So all of them have similar attitude. As an overview, we have also 3 major initiatives. In my official capacity as presidential envoy, and not my past capacity as Future Trends, where I have all those relations already globally, I visited the 3 GCC countries. For example, we met with Qatar Investment Authority, the head of strategic partnerships and the head of alternative investments and strategic partnerships and emerging markets, several of them. They are committed to do things here. Once a few other visits go, you will see this is the official sovereign wealth fund of Qatar, not individuals, but institutions. We also have had very deep discussions with sit-downs with Qatar Chamber of Commerce, 60,000 private companies and government companies. They will be signing with Business Botswana as the Chamber of Commerce and them. You will be expecting that before the end of the year, this will happen. We have, this is only one country. We have Bahrain, where the whole country wants to merge all their industrial sectors with Botswana under an initiative we gave the name, Diamond and Pearl. Both of them are resources that were not resource curse, they were resource blessings. And therefore, these two will combine. In Dubai, the Minister of International Cooperation of Dubai, Madam Reem Al-Hashmi, had a 2-hour meeting, and all my meetings have been 2-hour meeting with our team. And she also mentioned, we have understood, we're all over Africa, we never knew that such a special, unusual country of peace, unity has existed. You are building an entirely new Dubai in Africa. How can we be not part of it and a big part of it? So we will come in because this is a twin creation. So with final words, please, my words, I don't need to have any clap yet. It will be when all of you have participated and we have gone, I call all the beautiful cloth one needle to go through so that projects become accomplished. Finally, we have brought here Multiverse Botswana, the creation of an entire Botswana in the virtual world. And the company is registered here, committed here, has stayed here, and will be. We are not announcing yet. Once everything is clear, MOU signs, contract signs, we will be announcing it in the next key conference. The final initiative, this is very important, the presidential initiative. We have convinced 190 projects, 60 companies, 100 owners and CEOs whose projects are mature in 5 SADC countries around to vote Botswana as the hub and as the epicenter. They will be coming in November. The key managers are coming tomorrow, and this will happen under the Botswana Development Corporation as directed by Mr. President. This one you can clap, because Botswana is the center, the hub, the epicenter, and the entire region assets. These are mines, industries, logistics, and infrastructures of the region taking their headquarters in Botswana. Thank you, and blessings to the people of Botswana, and nobody has said yet in the Pula Summit. Pula.
What a guy. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause once again. All right, so as we draw a close to this memorable session, ladies and gentlemen, it's only fitting that we express our appreciation to all who made this morning a success. And to deliver the vote of thanks, may I now invite the chairperson of the board of the Botswana Investment and Trade Center to the podium. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Ms. Gumel Madikpel. A round of applause, please.
A round of applause, please, for our program directors. Secondly, a round of applause for yourselves for sacrificing your quality time to be in the room. I've decided to mash up what I'd prepared based on what has been discussed and shared by the President of the Republic of Botswana, Advocate Duma Gideon Boko, our guest speaker, the pitches that were being made. So allow me to change the discourse from where I prepared. The President earlier on said it is important to be disagreeable. One of the key traits of being an entrepreneur is being disagreeable. I believe that is an invitation for Botswana to choose a stance, a posture of entrepreneurship as their default setting. I thank the diplomatic community. I thank the management of BITC. And while at that, I wish to express my deepest gratitude for the manner in which the BITC team reinvented themselves crisis after crisis. They maintained a posture of unity, they maintained a posture of positivity, and they continue to pull rabbits out of hats, as with today. Didier Drogba, I recently got very excited as I got to learn about the E1. Yes. We do read a lot within VITC. It's important. And I wish to appreciate, I see my 2 board members. The posture that we normally take within the BITC board is that we allow our management to lead unopposed, to embrace their excellence, and to lift them continually. If I could please just invite my 2 fellow board members to please just come let people know that there is a team. I believe this is important because a lot of the time when we have major events, people assume that it is about clout. People assume that it is about celebritydom. But it is really about sacrifice, about commitment, about teamwork. A lot of the teams seldom being the ones that make it to the stage, but it is a team effort. It is not a one-man show, one-woman show. Thank you. I appreciate you. Global Expo Botswana is more than a marketplace. It is a crucible of possibility. Under the banner Unlocking Botswana's Potential, Partnerships for Sustainable Growth, we gather as one, fortified by hope and determination to chart a path through the storms of economic uncertainty. Though we face challenges, tightening fiscal realities and shifting global sands, this gathering reminds us that we must govern with the humility to listen, the courage to change, and the wisdom to lead. The past speakers spoke about innovation, if not all of them. It was 7 years ago that a talk was delivered in the city. It was entitled The Prosperity Paradox by Efosa Ojomo, a Nigerian American. The talk was delivered at Maitisong Theatre, the oldest theatre in the city. From that talk, the body of work evolved into a book that became #1 on Amazon, co-written, co-authored by Efosa Ojomo, by the late Professor Clay Christensen, and by the former Harvard Business Review editor, Karen Dillon. I encourage you to read that book. It is called The Prosperity Paradox, How Innovation Lifts Nations Out of Poverty. Delivered right in Gaborone. So I want you to be proud that there is an origin from such excellence right in this city. I think a round of applause for Botswana. It is at Global Expo Botswana that ideas take flight, investments find a home, and industries of energy, agriculture, mining, tourism, manufacturing, and many others converge to redefine our future. The Pula Investment Conference catalyzes promise into action, while Entrepreneurs and Creatives Day heralds a new dawn for Botswana's diversification and empowerment. It is important to share that when we convened as the board and management of the BITC, we prioritized the creative economy, the sports economy, yes, before the recent victories, as part of our priorities for the next 5 years. This is important because deciding what matters should not be about what is popular. It should be data-informed, and it should be commitment-led. I wish to thank all our sponsors. There's quite a number, and I believe we'll thank them properly over the next couple of days. But I want to thank all the sponsors who made this event possible. All the partnerships that have begun and those that will evolve into greater impact. We are committed to possibility. We are committed to disruption. We are committed to inclusivity. We are committed to working together with both the public sector, private sector, the social economy, and civil sector. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Agree? All right? No? No, if you know nothing, no? So we only have one language of communication, and that's a round of applause. Can I hear that round of applause, please? All right, so there are 4 announcements I'm going to make, and these are very important. The last one, you do not want to miss out on. The first announcement I'm going to make is that right after this, the media is invited. Zota's group will be giving a press brief, and they are welcoming all media members of the media to please join them in the first room on the right. Please, once again, this is a press brief. It is not selfies with Didier, Drogba, or Emil Heskey. And this is why we invited the media. The second announcement I'm going to make is that there will be individuals after this first session who are going to be asking you just for your opinion and getting to understand how you feel, more like a survey. We're not asking you if you're sad, but we want to know how you are experiencing and enjoying the experience of the conference thus far. And the third announcement I'm going to make is really an important one, but I'll make it when we get back from the break. Now, at this moment, I would like to invite you to please join us in the refreshments rooms. Please do feel free to take a walk and check out the stalls that are available. There's some very exciting exhibitors that are waiting for you in this very moment. We are behind time, so what I am going to do is I am going to then request that we get back here at 20 past noon, and I'm going to let you know just in advance that there's going to be a whole lot of energy when we get back, and we are going to try and catch up with the time so that we end this program when we're supposed to end it. So once again, media is invited to the room at the back, Mukwa, if I am not mistaken, for that press brief, while everyone else is invited for snacks, as well as to tour the exhibition stores. Ladies and gentlemen, before we leave, I need to hear it one more time. Can we get that round of applause, please? All right. See you at 20 past noon. Thank you.